welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about efforts at the state capitol to do a better job of integrating California immigrants into California's economic and civic life. My guest this segment is David Chiu, a member of the State Assembly from San Francisco. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
So we're talking about, with this effort, we are talking about immigrants who are here lawfully and going through the naturalization process, and also those who would come under President Obama's deportation relief executive order, correct?
That's right. We're talking about helping people realize their American dream. Really the story of hundreds of millions of immigrants coming to the United States, going through the immigration process to become U.S. citizens. In recent years, our immigration system has broken. The bureaucracies are incredibly difficult to navigate. The laws are incredibly complicated. And yet, in the state of California, we have over 2.5 million residents who are eligible for citizenship, but either don't know it or don't know how to access that. On top of that, we have another 1.5 million residents who are eligible under President Obama's recent executive orders, either because they are children or because they are the parents of immigrant children, to go through the process as well. And so we've made some proposals in this area really to help those individuals through the immigration process.
What are some of the problems in going through this process? I know I've seen a reference to what's called notarios. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
Well, so there are many challenges to going through the immigration process. It's much harder than was the case when, for example, my parents immigrated and were able to get through that immigration process in the 1960s. It's expensive, it's very time intensive, the laws are very complicated, and so oftentimes we've seen recently fraud artists, often known as immigration consultants or notario fraud, where these are individuals who promise you that they're going to get you citizenship if you give them $3,000, $5,000, and then they don't return your phone calls or they literally disappear. And we've had so many horror stories of immigrants who are legal to go through the process, who forked over their life savings and had their life savings disappear. And so this year, as well as in recent years, we have passed laws to really forbid and prohibit those types of fraudulent practices.
And I know, and you're trying to get through, included in the budget, a pretty minor amount of $20 million to go to various community groups to help with the naturalization process.
That's right.
In various communities.
This is a proposal that the Asian Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus has teamed up with our Latino caucus. All of us represent millions and millions of Californians who are moving through this process. And what we think is important right now, it used to be a few years ago, there was a small pot of money to really educate and assist immigrants in going through this citizenship process, to provide resources to grassroots-based, community-based organizations to do outreach, to educate folks on what their rights are, and to help them through this process. We know that when you go from being a legal immigrant to a citizen, that adds billions of dollars to our economy. In fact, it's estimated over the next 10 years. The legalization of the folks who are eligible now could lead to close to $30 billion extra to our economy. When you legalize and become a U.S. citizen, it makes it easier for you to get a job, for you to get health care, for you to open up a bank account, and we really want to encourage
participate in civic life.
And participate in civic life and have the opportunity to vote and really be engaged in our local communities.
Well, it sounds like a fascinating idea. We'll certainly watch the progress as we go through the budget process and look for this legislation moving forward. David Chiu, Assembly member from San Francisco, thanks for coming by and talking about it.
Thanks, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on the Cal channel, on YouTube, also on My Government On Demand. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.